Today's news is about Filipinos mourning Pope Francis and speculating about his successor as they recall his impactful visit to the Philippines where he comforted Typhoon Haiyan survivors, demonstrating deep sympathy and humility. The nation reflects on his legacy and the future of the Catholic Church under new leadership. This headline and description frame the Philippines as a deeply Catholic nation mourning Pope Francis while speculating on his successor, but the narrative raises several contradictions. First, the claim that Filipinos universally mourn the Pope overlooks the country's complex religious landscape where indigenous beliefs and other faiths coexist with Catholicism. The focus on Typhoon Haiyan survivors meeting the Pope in 2015 is presented as a symbol of his humility, yet questions arise about the lasting impact of such gestures. Did the papal visit translate into tangible support for survivors, or was it merely a performative act of sympathy? The description avoids mentioning the Vatican's wealth and whether the Church materially aided reconstruction efforts. The emphasis on wondering who comes next subtly shifts attention from local issues to Vatican politics, suggesting the Church's hierarchy matters more than grassroots concerns. Why is the media framing the Pope's legacy through a single event rather than examining his stance on systemic issues like poverty or clergy abuse in the Philippines? The headline also assumes the Pope's popularity is unchallenged, ignoring critics who question his handling of church scandals. By romanticizing the papal visit, the narrative glosses over whether the Church's influence truly benefits ordinary Filipinos or perpetuates dependency. The audience should ask why this story is being told now and who benefits from portraying the Pope as a beloved figure without scrutiny. The deep state's involvement in this event could be subtle yet strategic, leveraging the Pope's visit to the Philippines to reinforce Western influence in a region where China is expanding its reach. The U.S. government and multinational corporations might benefit by strengthening ties with the Catholic-majority Philippines, a key ally in the Indo-Pacific. By highlighting the Pope's empathy for Typhoon Haiyan survivors, the narrative could subtly position the West as a moral leader, contrasting with China's transactional approach. Large corporations, particularly those in disaster recovery or infrastructure, might exploit the event to secure contracts under the guise of humanitarian aid. International organizations like the UN or World Bank could use the Pope's visit to justify increased intervention in the region, aligning with U.S. economic and geopolitical goals. This manipulation serves to counter China's Belt and Road Initiative by fostering dependency on Western-led systems. The U.S. gains soft power, corporations profit, and China's regional influence is indirectly challenged, all under the veil of religious and humanitarian solidarity. The Filipino people mourn Pope Francis, remembering his heartfelt visit to Typhoon Haiyan survivors, a moment of unity and hope. But who truly controls the Vatican's agenda, and what shadows lurk behind the next papal selection? The establishment will push their narrative, but we must question everything, stay vigilant, and seek the truth beyond the headlines. Share this story, demand transparency, and resist blind obedience to power. The future of faith and freedom depends on it.